Hey, Salty Tadpoles. It's Gemma from Talking Codswallop podcast. You probably knew what podcast it was because this is the Talking Codswallop podcast and you've downloaded the episode. And you also probably know who I am as well because, I'm the host. But anyway, this is just a quick introduction before we start the episode, just to call out for a little bit of support for one of our Salty Tadpoles. So Nathan, who is one of our long-standing Salty Tadpoles, one of the OGs, I guess, he is really unwell at the moment and he is in hospital. And I'm not sure if he wants me to go into detail as to what has happened and things like that, but it's by the by. He's really not very well at the moment. And we just thought as a podcast, he's given us so much support that it would be nice to pass it forward. So if I could ask our lovely Salty Tadpoles that any of you who are religious, who pray, any of you that just send out some love for Nathan Page, who is our resident paranormal expert as well. So he was on our first Halloween episode. So you've got that as reference anyway. But if you pray, if you could just send out some love, if you could just send out some healing thoughts, whatever it is that you sort of believe in, but if you could just send it Nathan's way to get him feeling a lot better, and also just give him a little bit of support as well, because we want him to get better, because let's face it, Nathan, if you don't get better, that means that I'm losing a listener, and that's not possible. And while you're just laying there, just resting and recouping and getting yourself all better. Yeah, you thought this was a nice thing, didn't you? Nah, it is really, it is. But while you're doing that, if you could listen to this episode like on loud, so that all of the other patients and the staff that work at the hospital could listen to the episode as well, because this is a really good one. And then when they come in and they ask who it is, and you can get them to like and subscribe and download the episodes and listen, every week, because they've got stressful jobs, those doctors and nurses and the cleaners and everybody who works in the hotel. Yeah, there we go, in the hospital. And of course, laughter is also the best medicine as well. So it'll be ideal for all of the patients as well. Any age, well, maybe not children, but Anyway, no, on a serious note, please get better, Nathan. Sending you all of my love, sending it from the lads as well. Andy, I'm sure, will send his love as well, because we know he's your favourite, even though every time I'm the one who does something nice. But oh, anyway, right, let's crack on with the episode. But yeah, sending you lots of love, Nathan, and healing thoughts. Bye-bye. Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma.
And I'm James.
Hey, it's James. It's not Junior. It's James.
Yeah, it's been long enough,
Exactly. I think people can work out which James you are just from your voice, not, And, you're quite chirpy, and the other James is not really that chirpy.
I'm not saying anything because he's back soon.
Is he?
I'm hoping so.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you know something that I don't then.
I know lots of things you don't, but none of them are relevant.
Well, if it's podcast related, I should know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he will be gracing us with his presence at some point when he's stopped hobnobbing with the stars, No, honestly, I know I tease James a lot, but I am proud of what he's doing at the moment, because it's something that he's wanted to do for an awful long time, and he's finally getting out there and he's getting it done, and he's having to, is so important that he has to do non-disclosure agreements, so NDAs coming out of his nose. So the one time the man could bring content, he you know, he's
Yeah.
got nothing to bring. But yeah. So this is going to be a shorter episode this week, but I have got a couple of funny stories. I've got two now. But we're also going to be talking about the convention that James went to with the Legos. So are you happy for me to talk about my stories first?
Whichever you'd prefer. You're the boss, as I always get reminded.
Okay, no problem. You certainly are. You certainly are reminded that.
Yes, boss.
Right, let's just bear with me.
Rawr.
Right, okay, so I've got two stories to tell on the podcast. There has been some posts on the social media for one of them, and it really made me laugh. so yeah, today I went to the doctor's surgery, and
Sorry.
it's all right. James does know about this, but it was so funny. I had to bring it up on podcast. So basically, they so stupid. Honestly, it's like a pure definition of why Gemma is stupid. But
No, do you know what? Before you start, I'm going to interject with one thing,
Okay.
which is the minute you sent me this story and what had happened, the first thought was laughter, as always.
yeah,
Of, yes, Gemma's done a silly. But then it immediately struck me, were it not for the fact that you are willing to admit to your own faults,
yeah.
we all probably would have made the same mistake.
Yeah.
But we'd have kept it to ourselves.
Well, I'll explain why. I meant I could have kept it to myself, like on a public level, but in the room level, I couldn't have kept it to myself. But anyway,
No.
so I walked into the doctor's surgery, and as everybody knows pretty much now, you've got to sign yourself in with the little machine. But on this occasion, they changed it, and they'd put a sign up. They put a sign up to say, please click the machine to actually sign in. And I went across to the piece of paper. I do need to put it up on social media again when we release this episode, but it did look like a screen. So I went and touched the piece of paper, and I was like, "Oh no!" So I'm in the doctor's surgery, roaring with laughter at this point, and everyone's turned around, and so I had to explain myself. And then because people chuckled, I thought, "Well, that's good content. I have to ruin it and take it to the podcast." But the thing is like I've had a few people actually, because I sent it to a multitude of people, but my friend Jane came back to me and she goes, "Well, why did they put the sign so bloody close?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could understand if it was like the sign was like we've had to move it to the reception desk.
Yeah.
So it's not. So the paper sign was where the original machine was, and now the machine is on the desk. That I could understand, but from only because you sent me the picture.
Yeah.
I fully understand. Like I said, I probably would have made the same mistake if I wasn't really paying attention, because, like you said, it almost looked like they'd taken the background off the registration touchscreen and used it for the background of the sign.
Yeah, exactly.
So it did look like this was a message that pops up before you move on to please enter your date of birth, or where you actually register as a patient coming in.
Yeah.
So this is why I was like, I'm laughing at this because I know Gemma's made a scene out of it, which she did. But well done, because now it means we've got content.
Yeah, exactly.
But truly, I probably would have done the same thing, of poked it had I not been paying attention. It was really cruel of them, I think.
Yeah, especially at a doctor's surgery, because most people are really unwell when they go to a doctor's surgery. I mean, Sorry, say again.
I was going to say, you're not exactly on the ball with things, are you?
No.
when you go to a doctor's. You're either waiting on test results, or, as you say, you're under the weather.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that someone sat down and designed that notice. Surely someone should have looked over the shoulder and gone, "Is that not a bit too close to the actual machine? Can it just not be Can it not just be a piece of white paper?"
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's okay to not make it professional.
Well, these receptionists, they have to put their art degrees to some use.
Well, my friend actually works at the doctor's surgery on reception, so next time I see her, she works at my doctor's surgery, but she also does like beauty treatments and things like that. So she's the one who does my nails for me and stuff. And so yeah, next time I see her, I'm going to mention it to her, and I'll be like, "You asshole!" I bet she's the one who did it.
Just be careful, otherwise you'll be coming home with your fingers glued together.
No, she'll find it funny as well. Well, so her partner says, because her partner, she's also called Gemma, so Gemma's a tract, and yeah, she's got brown hair. That's relevant for what I'm about to say. Her partner says that she's like a Malteser. She's she's got brown hair on the outside, so she's a brunette on the outside and a blonde on the inside. So that was my Malteser moment.
I'm trying not to make a filthy joke out of that, but I'm really struggling. I'm really, really struggling.
Well, we both find it funny, so it's all good.
I'm glad someone does.
There we go. I got a giggle out of you, so I could just insert that at the end.
You editing fiend.
Yeah, exactly. So my other one stems over about a month. Or spans over about a month, actually, that's the right word. And so I can't remember if I talked about it on the podcast or not, but if not, then whatever, I'm talking about it right now. So I went to the car wash with my new car, and I'd not had it very long, so that's how I know it was about a month old, because I've only had it for about 2 months. And so it was a drive-through car wash, so not a hand wash. So yes, I put the code in, all that, went in properly, aerial was off, everything was perfectly fine.
You followed the rules as written. Exactly.
I turned the engine off, everything was perfect. Ready with the horn in case there was an emergency. No, it wasn't.
Rolled yourself a spliff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, smoking a fake. No, anyway, so as the machine is working, I can really hear the sort of water, as it's doing its thing. And obviously, car wash is quite noisy anyway. But I sort of glance over my left shoulder. Yes, I did just do an L with my finger, so I got the right one.
Your other right.
Yeah, my other right, yeah. So I glanced over my left shoulder and noticed that one of the windows was down, and I was like, whoa, how did that happen? So quickly turned the engine on enough to be able to close the window. Back seat was wet. Anyway, and I was like, oh, well, I don't know how... I knew that I hadn't put the window down, so I didn't know how it had happened. But anyway. Right. Fast forward to yesterday. Yesterday, me and my mum took Socks for a lovely walk. And it was really nice. And at one point, I turned around to Socks because it was almost like he was scratching at the door. And I said, Socks, stop that. And my mum looked over and she goes, did you open that window? And I went, no. Socks somehow had learnt how to open the window in the back. So that is how the window was opened during the car wash.
And you hadn't noticed?
Well, no, because I always, when he's in the car, I always open a window for him. But
obviously,
on the side that he sat on. originally, and then he'll move about a little bit in the car, but he's sort of strapped in, but he still moves about a little bit. But yeah, he moved to the other side and obviously opened the window on this occasion. So I guess he'd done that on that occasion as well. But yeah, no, because I didn't think to look if that window was open because I hadn't opened it. You see what I mean?
Sort of.
Well, I mean, just before I was going into the car wash.
No, I think the only thing that's getting me is, had you just taken socks for a walk before you went to
Yes.
the car wash?
Yes.
Right. You didn't mention that.
Oh, sorry.
So I'm trying to tie the two. I was trying to tie the two together. Like, it's fascinating that Dogs worked out how to do it. Did he jump in just before you got to the car wash, open it, and then flee again?
No, I just...
Like a prankster in the night.
I'm sorry. I do apologise that I missed out that bit of information. Yes,
it's okay.
I just I'd just taken him for a walk. So, but yeah, so I dropped him off, came home. Dropped him off at home. Then was like, well, I'm going to take my car to be washed, because it was quite quiet. So I thought, because it's not far away from where I live. So yeah, so little.
And the
bastard.
next thing you know, you're washing the inside and the outside.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, I had a blanket there, so it soaked up most of it. So I just had to sort of dry off the blanket. But yeah, I was like, because I put a blanket on the seat so that the dog, so that dog didn't mess up my car straight away, kind of thing.
Yeah, of course.
But then he decided that
as dogs
I should
seem
wash
to
it.
do.
I missed that. Sorry.
as dogs are one to do, or pets.
Yeah.
It's like, this back seat's nice and clean. Let's see what I can do about that.
Yeah. Look at me. I've got mud on my paws, and I'm going to go all over the car. Oh, so yeah.
It's like finger painting, but even more gross.
Yes. Thankfully, not feces involved, though. So that's good.
Oh, yes. That's true. But speaking of pets being in trouble,
mm-hmm.
I nearly murdered my dog.
Oh, no.
That was after he nearly got himself run over.
Oh, my goodness.
So, to remind the tadpoles, he's technically not my dog. He's my mother's dog, but I go dog sitting for him. His name is Murphy. He is a 2-year-old Alsatian, and currently he is in the I'm going to push my boundaries phase.
That phase. That's ever so fun, isn't it?
So at my mum's house, she lives just off a country back road. So it's a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit. There's tractors. So basically, there's a little bit. There's the main road. There's about an acre of land that's free at the moment, and then there's my mother's house. Now, unfortunately, my mother lost her garden fence in the most recent storm that was a warning.
Okay, yeah.
So now the only thing holding him in is a couple of the brambles, and we've kind of like wedged garden furniture in the gaps until we can get the fence repaired. I turn my back for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I have been at the house for 10 minutes. I let him out to do his business. And as I turn back, I just see a hairy bum disappearing through a privet. I'm like, no. I bolt outside, and first thing he does is he goes over to the other neighbour, because they have a little yappy thing.
Okay.
And he goes over to say hello. I managed to get myself in the field, nearly going arse over elbow, trying to get in the field. To which he sees me, hunkers down on the spot, and then as soon as I put 1 foot forward, he bolts into the main road.
Oh, no. So it was a game for him then.
Yeah, I am screaming at the top of my lungs, get back here, Murphy! And he's not listening. And I finally pin him down in the corner, and he does the stereotypical thing of he rolls over and shows his belly with his ears back like, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I'm like, mate, I don't care that you got out. I care that you didn't come to me. That was the biggest problem I had. His recall is terrible. So we are working on that. So we had to put him under house arrest.
How old is he again?
He is 2.
2. Okay. The terrible twos.
He's not even 2, actually. He's 2 in another month.
Oh.
So he is still a baby, but it is the problem of I've said this to my mum. I'm not there enough to reinforce training with him.
Yeah, and also because you're not there massively, you're not the master, I suppose.
No.
In some ways. So he's like, well, no, who are you to tell me what to do? Because he's in that defiant mode of being a pup. He's like, well, who are you to tell me what to do? Kind of thing. Whereas, if you were there all the time, not that you could be there all the time, but, he would probably have listened a little bit more. But
yeah, I'm with you completely. It's like he treats me more like a sibling.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to play with him, which I do, because it keeps him entertained, but he feels like, I don't have to listen to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then I get the spray bottle out.
And the thing is, as well, just because he's 1 doesn't mean that he's a light dog, because he's a German Shepherd, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He is something like 65 kilos.
I mean,
he is a big bugger.
Yeah. I was going to say, because Socks is like, he fluctuates between like 22 and 24 kilos. And he's heavy to pick up, especially when he grounds himself, because he very often grounds himself as well.
Yeah.
So he could be a 50-kilo dog. But yeah. So.
Yeah, he's very dense, is Murphy.
Yeah.
Like because again, he doesn't look that heavy, but when you go to pick him up, it's all just. It's like he must have really dense bones or something.
Yeah.
He's just such a lump of a dog.
Oh, well, I'm glad that he didn't die on either occasion. So
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that nothing was coming when he crossed the road.
I haven't killed him yet.
Didn't kill him.
Yeah, I haven't killed him yet, but he keeps pushing me. I might.
Yeah. Right. Should we get on to how the sorry. Can you explain? It was a Lego convention, wasn't it?
Yes.
So let's get on to that and see how it went for you, because obviously we had the pre-event and now this is after the event. So, or post, whatever.
The post-match interview.
Yes. So how did it go?
It went really, really well. I was a little bit nervous just because I've never done anything like it beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it was very, very smooth sailing. So got there at silly o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. We had to be at the venue for 8 o'clock in the morning. Then the show didn't start until 10 a.m.
Oh, so is that just to give you time to like set up and things like that before opening the door? Yeah. Yeah,
it was to make sure that we got, obviously, any of the people displaying or selling were given, we were given the priority car parking out front. It was to make sure that the car park was empty so that we could do that. So we could just literally pitch up, pull the boxes out, or the... so many carver boxes, so many of the big clear boxes full of Lego were getting moved up and about. So the biggest issue I had was the venue we were at was Aintree Racecourse, and we were in one of the grandstands.
Okay.
So we were overlooking the actual racetrack, Yeah. And it's a beautiful building. But what was weird was they had us across an entire floor, but the building is actually in 2 halves, and there's a walkway between the 2.
Oh, okay.
So there's one hall, and then the small walkway, and then you're in another hall.
Oh, okay.
So first thing, So first thing was first was I said, as soon as we got there and realised, I was like, right, I said to my wife, you go that way, I'll go this way. If you find a table, stay at it. Because if I don't find it in one room, it's going to be in the other room. And if she doesn't find it in the other room, it'll be with me.
Yeah.
But we got there and it was our table. The tables were set out and it was really nice, really airy. You know, it didn't feel claustrophobic. So we got set up. I met with the organisers. I've been emailing. You know, they were dead happy to see me and really glad. Because as we discovered, I was only one of maybe 3 or 4 people displaying their own creations. A large chunk of the table large chunk of the tables were retailers.
Well, that's good though, isn't it? That's good for you, especially.
Yeah, because again, it was non-stop. As I say, as soon as the doors opened at 10 o'clock, they said they'd sold 3,000 tickets.
Wow.
And
for a small convention, that's really awesome.
Well, especially when you bear in mind that some of those were family tickets. This is 2 adults, 2 children. And obviously the whole day was a family. It was families all day.
Yeah.
But it was like they were all really well behaved. There were so many of like parents holding toddlers' arms and pinning them to their sides.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just but so many of the kids were like, "Can I touch it?" And it's like, "Absolutely, but if anything breaks off, let me know because I'll put it back together. It's not a problem." But they were all really nice, and again, a lot of them weren't expecting some of the display pieces. But we were a big hit all day. I didn't sit down. I didn't get 5 minutes to myself. It was only when we were packing up at the end I actually got to go and walk around myself.
Oh,
wow. I got like one circuit first thing just before the doors open for the members of the public to have a look.
Yeah.
And then I got one last one as we were all packing up.
Yeah.
Just in case I'd missed anything. But it was absolutely fantastic. As I say, I was non-stop. My models, everyone loved them. I brought Johnny 5 with me, which was a huge hit. I had Chitty Chitty Bang Bang as well, which was, again, everyone loved that. Everyone said I had like the table of the 80s. So it's like an 80s childhood recreated in Lego. Because I had like Knight Rider, I had Airwolf, I had Johnny 5 from Short Circuit, I had the Back to the Future Time Machine.
Yeah. No,
You know,
I definitely
it was all
recognise
80s
that.
icons.
Oh, sorry.
It's
I
okay.
definitely recognise that from the photographs that you sent us.
Yeah. Again, that was the other problem. I was so busy. I was like, I was going to get loads of photos of stuff. Genuinely, I couldn't get round my own table.
No, that's okay. That's good.
People were gathered round taking photographs of their own. I did realise, however, I made one catastrophic error.
Okay.
Which will be very quickly resolved for the next show. I forgot to put my username on everything.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Because I'm a complete doofus.
The thing is, though, when you do these kind of things and it's your first time doing things, that's how you learn, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was just that frustration of, I just realised afterwards, it's like, I've put I made a QR code so that when you scanned it, it took you to my instructions website where I sell all my instructions. And my username is on that, but I completely forgot to actually write it down, like to write down all my social medias. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
So it's like,
maybe you could get some business cards made up or something.
Well, I thought about it, but it was one of those frustrating things of I just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
Because we were getting so close, you know. As I said, I was kind of blindsided by this a little bit. It was like I only got the Facebook advert, I think a month before the venue date. So I was like, oh, fantastic, I'll inquire. And then they were like, yeah. And so everything was kind of last minute. So
Yeah.
definitely for the next one, it's going to be, at the very least, I'm actually going to put my name on stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely, 100%. But
But
yeah,
it
no, I
was,
mean, now though, now that you know that this is going to be a thing, that and obviously, if any others come up in maybe even a Comic-Con, you might be able to display it or whatever. But what you can do is, you could sort of look into doing the business cards or whatever now, so that you've got it all prepared. Because I think I got ours from Vistaprint or something, but I'll have a look anyway, and I'll let you know. I know that there was lots of deals on, so
I know that normally Vistaprint has like usually they have a very good deal of something like 500 for a tenner.
yeah,
Like
yeah, it's
that's
something.
one of their one of their basic packages is like 500 for a tenner. So it's like that'd be ideal.
Yeah.
I have actually been invited back.
Oh, good.
There's gonna be another event in Haydock, which is not too far from me.
Oh, okay.
That's about half an hour. So
Is that this year or is that
that
next
is
year?
this no, that's this year. It's actually in June.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's on the 29th of June, if memory serves me correctly. But again, once I am confirmed with the organisers, I will I will again be posting the information. And
Yeah.
I'm currently I had so much fun at it. I'm trying to work out, right, what other big things can I bring? And can I build them in time?
Yeah.
That's my
Maybe a
next
talking
one.
Codswallop logo in Lego. I mean, that would be
Oh,
amazing.
I thought you might say that. You're getting
Well,
the T-shirt out of me, and that's it.
I'm all business. Come on, I'm all business. And I come up with stupid ideas to do little things for the table, literally the day before. So I was not expecting you to do it. But then you said, oh, I'll send it over. And I thought, oh, I'll just send it over anyway.
Yeah, that was just out of politeness.
Yeah, no, I know. I knew you weren't going to be able to do it. So it's all good. But when things just pop into your head and you're like,
Oh no, yeah.
yeah.
I'm certainly going to try and do. Lego has they have they have a mosaic series.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it's they do they've been doing icons, so it's things like they did Elvis, they did the Beatles, and they're all mosaics made out of the single stud pieces.
Ah, nice.
So it's the idea of you put down like one dark one, then one grey, and then one white, and the further you stand away from it, the more it looks like the picture it's supposed to. So I may try and actually throw up the logo on one of those.
Yeah, that would be good. But I'm really not expecting you to do it, so don't worry.
But no, I'm trying to, as I say, we've got a couple of months until the next one. So that gives me plenty of time to make sure I've got some bits, but I am going to try and build, I designed a Robot Wars arena.
Ah, nice.
With working traps. So the pit actually lowers, there's a flame pit, and there is a catapult in the middle of the in the middle of the battlefield.
That is pretty
So
cool.
just like the TV show.
Yeah, I used to love that TV show.
I'm going to try and get that together with I've got a couple of the house robots designed as well.
Yeah.
And some of the contestants.
Yeah, that would be really awesome. Yeah.
Well, just because, as I said, it was the quirky stuff that really got people's attention.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing, with it being a kind of British icon, I think that's where I'm going to start focusing on. But all in all, like as I say, the organisers were fantastic guys to deal with, and the event itself was absolutely superb. As I say, I was so surprised at how many people did turn up, and I can only hope it gets bigger and better, because it was so much fun.
Yeah, well, honestly, hearing you speaking of it, it sounds like you're still really excited about it. So that's really awesome.
Yeah. As I say, it's one of those things where it's like, I wasn't expecting as much praise as I got. I was going to be happy with just the organisers being happy, but it was, as I say, it was non-stop all day. I basically got 8 hours of praise and photos and talking to people and talking to fans. And a lot of the traders were like, we'll look forward to seeing you at the next couple.
Yeah.
Because some of the traders were coming from all over the UK.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
It wasn't just locals, it was also other people.
Were you able to sort of find like-minded people as well and get in touch with, sort of, because you mentioned that you wanted to see if there was any people that in Liverpool that have any groups or whatever, didn't you?
Unfortunately not.
No.
On this occasion. But as far as I'm aware, there haven't been many of the conventions like this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is I think this is the second time they've ever done a Liverpool venue. So, because there's a company behind it, like with Comic-Con,
mm-hmm.
there's an overriding company that organised them. I believe that this company has only done 2 Liverpool shows, including this one. So I think it may just be give it time. So I'm hoping at the next Liverpool one, we may run into a few more, but I'll definitely be doing the Liverpool ones regularly, mainly because with it being so close to me and so easy to get to.
Yeah.
It's just a nice day out for me.
What about the sort of the transport side of things? Was that a little bit stressful with regards to boxing everything up and trying to get it there?
It was a little bit. Obviously, on the ride over, I was a lot more careful than I was on the way back.
Yeah.
Because logically, I'm thinking, it doesn't matter if anything falls apart on the way home because I'm coming home. But on the way there, I was very much I was either dismantling it as much as possible to just reassemble on site.
Yeah.
But we had, my wife went out and bought 3 rolls of bubble wrap.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Just to stuff because even she was like, I know it's Lego and I know we can just put it back together, but if something happens where we haven't got the time to set it all up, this will make life easier. And she was right. Yeah. Because there were still, usually it was, as I said, it was usually the little bits that came off and they're not too easy, they're not too difficult to replace, sorry. So it was just, because I'm not normally taking that many different pieces.
Yeah.
This is the first time I transported lots of different models. So when there was a loose piece, I'm like, okay, what was in that box? Because now I've got a handful of pieces at the bottom and trying to work out what was missing from where.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, right, so that's a wing mirror off that one, that's off there, and that should be over on that one. Right. But luckily, yeah, transport wasn't too bad. As I say, I was very gentle on the way there, not quite so much on the way back because I was tired and hungry and.
Yeah, you just wanted to get home and rest, sort of thing. That is it, though, isn't it? So you don't have to really worry on the way home because, like you said, you can always just leave it in the box until following week or whatever, and then be like, oh, okay, I need to just fix that a minute. But yeah.
Well, there's a weird tradition with some of the bigger models. People will they'll build them in sections, and then at the end of the convention, they put down a big tarpaulin and they push the entire thing off the table.
Oh, okay.
And let it shatter into the tarpaulin.
Ooh.
I hate it with a passion.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart every time. Because I know people are like, oh, it's only Lego, it'll go back together. Yeah, but it's the time that you take to putting into it to build these things.
Yeah,
and then just watching it be pushed off a table, I'm just like, oh, that just hurts.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can 100% understand that. It's like, that one that you gave, when you didn't give me, you told me about in an Audi that, had the option of doing a fish or a dragon or whatever, and I've done a dragon, and it sits above me on the shelf just above my head right now. And if when I move, if I have to move that because I'm like dusting or whatever, because I've just left it up, as a displayed sort of thing, I'm always like, oh no, its wings fallen off, because obviously it's really fragile, isn't it?
Yeah.
So to do it to an entire piece, and I can't remember how long that took me to do, to be honest. But like I've got no background in doing Lego since I was a kid, personally. But yeah. Oh, that reminds me, actually. If unless you've got any more to say about the Lego Con, let's call it a Lego Con.
No, I think I've covered everything. I'd say I've had an absolute whale of a time. We'll be going back, and as I say, I will update our salty tadpoles with more information as I know it.
Yeah, well, that'd be fab. That'd be fab. And if there's a bit more notice, hey, I could even pop in and say, oh yeah, I'm here.
So I'll make sure that all of them are in Scotland.
There's flights to Scotland. That's easier to get to, actually, than Liverpool. But
then I shall put on a wig and a big hat.
I'm not saying I want to go and see you. I might just want to go to the Comic-Con or the Legicon. Oh, see? You made me choke. That's not very nice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You would have choked if you'd seen some of the prices.
Yeah, I bet.
There were some fantastic retro sets, like stuff from the 80s that was still sealed.
Ooh.
And I had to say to some of the sellers, like, how do you do it? How do you fight the urge?
Yeah.
And it was then I discovered that sometimes some of the retailers, they're a different breed of people. Like you have breeds of nerds. Like you got the ones who are like, oh, it never leaves its packaging. It stays in its dust protector. And then there's me, who's like, I've got a big bucket. What can I build?
There's also a lot of people as well who buy two, isn't it? One to play with and one to keep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had one set there that was nearly sold for £1,400.
My goodness.
And I have that set.
So if you had it in mint condition, you wouldn't have to pay the rent for at least a month.
mint condition in the box. It would have paid my mortgage for 7 months.
Wow. That's it. See, guys, it's not a kid's toy. It's not.
No, it's an investment.
But on that note, I have a tiny little apology to make. Graham listened to our last episode. Graham, my stepdad, he listened to our last episode that we did, and I said that it really pisses. I think we actually said it really pisses me off when people take when people not tease, but are really mean about other people's likes and hobbies and things like that. And he pointed out that every Monday evening, he does. He's a model train enthusiast. And he does all. To be fair, he's extremely talented, and I'm not just saying that because I'm doing this apology. But he does all the sort of decorating as well. So he's done recently just like little houses to be in the background, and so that when you actually are going with the train, you can actually see like little houses in the distance and stuff like that. I'm not selling it 100% well, but I do it to my own knowledge. Anyway, so my apology is that when Graham goes to his evening on Mondays, I always go, "Are you going to go see your choo-choos?" And he said, he was joking, of course, but he said, "I think you need to apologise to me." I was like, right, okay, I will. So I have.
Yep, you have apologised.
Monday night choo-choos.
And I have witnessed, but no, I know exactly how he feels, in that it's a whole world.
Yeah,
it's like with I have friends who absolutely adore Warhammer, and it's a tabletop board game, but you can get so immersed in it just with the actual the maps that you have to use and the terrain that you can make. I fully understand. Like with when people say, "Oh, it's you and your model trains," it's like but when you see what people can make with them, and when you're part of that community, as I say, I was I built the entire ending to Back to the Future of Part 3. So I had the time machine being pushed by the train just as it's about to go over the over the uncompleted bridge, and I call it my showstopper, and everyone loved that. And it looks fantastic, if I do say so myself.
It did. I saw a photo of it.
This is the thing. It's like you put that hard work in, and when it pays off, it pays off.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said at the beginning, the beginning of this bit, Graham really, truthfully, I'm not just saying this, like I said, he's so talented. Like, the amount of detail that he puts into these things, it's like, there was, he did a row of shops. It was 4 shops. Well, one was a barber, and then he had, like, a fish and chips, something, I can't remember what the other 2 were, newsagents and something else. But he had all the little characters inside, and he was painting the inside, and he was like painting the names up and things, and he was making tiny little, like the barber red and white pole kind of thing. He did that, and it's all the tiny little attention to detail that he did in it that most people would just be like, "Oh, that looks cool," But you look at it and you're like, "Oh my god!" If you really studied it, you're like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I can guarantee you the takeaway will have a menu in it.
Well, it did, but it was just little wiggly lines. So
but that's what I mean, though. He's gone to the detail of adding the menu on the wall that you pick from. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
Some of that scale work is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Even though it still is his Monday night choo-choos, I'm still going to stand with that.
Right, so he's got his Monday night choo-choos. I've got my Sunday brick thing.
Yeah.
And we're on the talky thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think on that note, I think that we've been talking enough Codswallop this week. Absolutely. I have been Gemma.
And I have been James Jr.
You have. You're not Junior. You're just James.
Till he comes back.
Yeah, all right then. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.